6 Grand Slams, a world #1 ranking, 2 dominant champions defining modern women's tennis. And yet, both share the same nightmare. Because while the spotlight stayed on Iga Świątek and Aryna Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina quietly became the player elite champions least want to face. Not the loudest, not the most emotional, but possibly the most dangerous.
She's back around.
And after Melbourne 2026, the numbers forced a question the tennis world wasn't ready to ask. Is Elena Rybakina the ultimate disruptor of this era? The stat that changed everything. Rybakina holds a 60% win rate against world #1s. 9 wins, 6 losses. Higher than Serena Williams. Higher than Steffi Graf. That's not just impressive, it's destabilizing. Because normally, the world #1 walks onto court as the favorite. Against Rybakina, history flips the pressure. And pressure, not power, decides elite matches. Champions collect trophies. Disruptors change expectations. When one player consistently breaks the best in the world, the hierarchy stops feeling secure. It starts feeling temporary. And that's where Rybakina lives. Not chasing the throne, threatening it.
That's the way.
The 3 forces behind it. To understand why this keeps happening, you have to look beneath the surface. 3 forces define her game: scoreboard control, emotional silence, time compression. Together, they don't overwhelm opponents. They suffocate them. Scoreboard control. Pressure without risk. In 2025, Rybakina crossed 500 aces. In 2026, she's winning roughly 75% of first serve points. That isn't just dominance, it's insulation. Service games pass quietly, which means pressure accumulates on the other side. And when world #1s realize they may only get 1 break chance per set, urgency becomes anxiety. Anxiety becomes error, and the match tilts before anyone notices. Emotional silence, the Rybakina void. Most champions rely on emotional energy. Sabalenka ignites herself. Świątek builds rhythm through intensity. Rybakina gives nothing back. No roar, no panic, no visible shift. Just stillness. And that stillness creates a void. Opponents search for signals that never come. Momentum becomes invisible. Confidence becomes fragile. She doesn't intimidate. She disconnects. Time compression. What happens inside the rally? Watch her against Świątek. The rally begins normally. Heavy exchanges, controlled movement. Then the rhythm breaks. The ball arrives flatter, earlier, deeper. Suddenly, the greatest mover of this generation isn't constructing points. She's reacting. Rybakina doesn't outrun opponents. She removes time. And when time disappears, control disappears with it. The historical parallel. Serena Williams had a rare quality. She didn't just win. She made matches feel inevitable. Rybakina carries a colder version of that energy. Not through emotion, through precision. And here's the anomaly. She has built this record against world #1s without ever being #1 herself. That makes her something different. Not the reigning champion, the structural threat. The flaw that keeps the door open. No dominance is perfect. There is one surface where her compression weakens. One environment where longer rallies re-enter the equation. That vulnerability matters, because it determines whether she becomes an era-defining force or remains the ultimate disruptor just outside the throne. The era question. When a player consistently defeats world #1s, rankings become secondary. The real question becomes identity. Who controls the era? The player holding the crown? Or the player nobody wants to face? Because if this trajectory continues, the ranking will eventually align with reality.
Beautiful.
And when that happens, the balance of power shifts completely. The real question. Maybe this isn't about whether Elena Rybakina is the best player in the world. Maybe it's about something more uncomfortable. What happens when the calmest player on tour becomes the most inevitable? Because if this is the current version, efficient, silent, unshakable, what does the finished version look like? And when it arrives, will it just threaten the throne? Or redefine what dominance feels like entirely? If Elena Rybakina continues on this trajectory, the question may not be whether she becomes world number one, but whether the rest of the tour ever truly solves her. Because dominance doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it appears quietly, reshaping the game before anyone realizes what's changed. And maybe that's what we're watching right now. So I want to know what you think. Is Rybakina the real final boss of this era? Or is there a weakness still waiting to be exposed? Let me know below. And if you want to see how this battle continues, watch my breakdown of the Świątek and Sabalenka rivalry video next, because that's where this story gets even more interesting.